setup, so I had to go press and then run over. But hello, and welcome to dinner tonight. I'm Joss'n, for those who don't know. I am, sorry, it's been a day. I'm a county agent in Frio County, and I'm also part of the fabulous Dinner Tonight team. So if you're new to Dinner Tonight, well, let me tell you. Dinner Tonight is, we provide a lot of healthy and nutrition resources. So if you're looking for healthy recipes, we're for you. We need tips and tricks in the kitchen, whether it's on food safety, family meal stuff, nutrition, cooking tips, meal planning, menu planning. We're your people. So make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms. So of course you're on Facebook, we're also on Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest. So go check us out. And always visit our Dinner Tonight website. That's where we have all our resources. So if you're looking for something, go to our website, which is dinnertonight.tmu.edu. But today's a little different. Today we're going to go over container basics. So we're going to go over the basics, what you need to look for when you're buying containers. So whether you're storing leftovers, prepping a meal in advance, or even taking lunch to work, there's different containers out there. Of course, think about your lifestyle and what's going to suit you best. But some very basic information that you need to look for is always look for an airtight, leak-proof container. And my number one tip, no matter what the container is always read your labels. So anytime you buy a container, they always have a beautiful label in front. They're usually packaged all around, but the label is going to tell you everything you need. You may not see because of the light, so I might have to put a glare. Oh, maybe not. But I'll tell you, every time your labels will tell you everything you need in on there. So this particular container is going to tell you that it's airtight and leak-proof, which is the number one you need, because when it's airtight and leak-proof, first of all, it's going to avoid cross-contamination, right? Because if anything leaks, we don't want anything to get into other containers. Or if maybe you're throwing it for work, you throw it in your bag and it leaks, then there goes a mess in your bag, right? We want to avoid that. So definitely make sure it's leak-proof and airtight, so you avoid a mess in your bag, you're avoiding cross-contamination, and also keeps your food a lot fresher longer. The next tip you're going to definitely want to do is make sure to avoid, well, also the big debate before I go on to my next tip, is whether do you want to go glass or do you want to go plastic. Both of them have their advantages. So glass tend to be a little heavier, so also think of your lifestyle. I like to think about that one. So I don't use glass containers because I know how I am. I just throw things and I'm throwing my bag left and right. If I have a glass container, it's probably going to break. If you're more careful, if you're able to have it throughout the day, maybe you can have a glass container, but glass does break, remember that. Also, glass containers, majority of the time, do have a plastic lid, and there's nothing wrong with that. But plastics tend to stain a lot more, which nothing is wrong with that, but if it does stain or smell, it's time to throw away or replace the lid. So, plastic versus glass, it's up to you. Glass does have advantages. Most of the time, glass containers do let you put it in the oven. If you like to use these kind of jars, these are fine too, but the lids also have a durability limit. So all containers have a durability limit. You need to look for airtight, leak-proof containers, but also know that whether it's plastic or glass, they all have a lifespan expectancy. They might not last forever, especially plastic, because if they smell or stain, it's a good sign that you need to throw them away. Durability. So going back to these containers, when they're airtight or sealed, majority of the time they'll have a flap, and that's okay. But if they're not closing, like if they're warping or not closing more, there goes the seal. So you might want to, that's another sign that you need to replace your lid. Or, majority of the time these lids, and I'll try to bring it up to you, they have this awesome gasket little seal in here. These are also plastic. So if they get absorbed or not cleaned properly, they can also stain and smell, and that can also cause some cross-contamination. So you want to take them out and also clean them individually if they allow. Of course, every brand is different, so if they don't pull out, just make sure to get in there and scrub in to get the gasket, because the gasket is also made of plastic, and plastic does absorb. Okay. And then also, every brand is different, so sometimes they're a lot easier to put back in. So going back to glass containers, I will say what I really liked about this label for glass containers is, first of all, I'm a big stickler for labels. It's good to read your labels whether you're buying ingredients, whether you're buying a gizmo gadget. It's good to understand what you're buying and understand what you're buying so you know what it's going to be doing. So the good thing about these glass containers, it tells you everything about how, if you could put in the oven, what are some of the cautions you need to use when putting in the oven. So just don't assume every glass container can be put in the oven. They do have some caution requirements. Sometimes, the majority of the time, they cannot be put in a rapid heat because they can break. So follow the instructions so your glass container does not break. Same thing if they're dishwasher safety, microwave, or freezer containers. So this particular container is leak proof. You can put it in the dishwasher, microwave, freezer, and oven, but they do have some safety requirements. So make sure to read your label to understand what precautions you need to take, because you don't want it to break on you and then there goes your food and then be more harmful to you. But I also liked, so most of them do have a flap or warp. If they warp or don't flap, of course replace, but some of them do twist. So if they do twist, that's fine too. What I liked about this particular label is, again, at the bottom it told you everything. It told you it was leak proof in the beginning. You had your little sign and symbols on your label of what it can do. It can tell you that it's microwave, dishwasher, and freezer friendly. And then in the back, just like your glass container, this one gives you cautions too. Like if you're gonna microwave, what you're gonna have to do if you're gonna put it in the microwave. Don't just throw it in the microwave, because there's caution that you need to do. So make sure to read your labels to understand what safety procedures you need to take, whether heating something up in the oven or microwave. Or even putting in the freezer, because this one did say freezer. So understand those basics. And you might have to look for it. What's also really good is that they show you the icons. You may not see them because my label's far out. But these icons are also on the bottom of your plastic. So if you know your container really well, you don't have to keep the label, but you'll know that it's on the bottom of your container. So then you'll remember, hey, I can put it in the microwave, I can put it in the dishwasher, and all that good stuff. Now, some of you may have this kind of container. These have restrictions too. I will say, out of personal experience, it's best to probably get clear containers, because then you know what you're seeing and what you're storing. I got this because I like to, after lunch, fold it in, which is, again, depends on your lifestyle. But if you can see in advance what you have, you can see if something's going bad and you need to throw out. Of course, if you saw our menu meal prepping information last week, you'll know that you want to meal prep in advance no more than 3 to 4 days in the refrigerator. But again, all your icons from the bottom, I can't see with my light. Sorry. It's a gloomy day today, so I got all my lights out. You want to see the icons and then you're prepared. So this one, you don't want to use any sharp objects because they'll rip into the rubber. But I will say, if these don't slap down, it's a sign to replace the lid. I noticed in this particular container, I had to replace the lids a lot more. So again, it's up to you what brands you use, but it's good to be aware of what doesn't work as much. Sometimes they may not have a lot of labels, and that's okay too. But this one, which I found interesting, actually had a little manual. So if you don't have labels, read your manual. I'm a big believer in that too. Right away it told me it was leak proof. Again, always look for leak proof or airtight. And then look for those safety cautions. So this one does have a lot of awesome safety features that you can do. If you want to heat something up, you can. If you want to freeze something, if you want to do an airtight seal, this one particularly told you all the steps. So you have to press down, push this little knob, and push down for an airtight seal. So some of them are a little specific on how to get airtight. Some of them is just a quick snap, while some of them require some steps. So make sure to read your labels to know how to get that airtight seal that you need to keep your food a lot safer and fresher. a lot longer. And again, it's important to make sure it's not airtight. It's airtight and leak-proof because if there's moisture that gets in or any kind of air, that creates, your food gets staler a lot quicker. And in the opposite direction, you know, odors from your food container can spread into your fridge. So we don't want that, right? We want to make sure it's all contained. I think a common question, because someone asked me this and I wanted to make sure to bring it up. Can you reuse other disposable supermarket containers? Definitely, you definitely can. Or reuse, like let's say you had a butter container and it's empty and you're reusing it. You definitely can. The only thing is make sure you definitely disinfect it, sanitize it, and then label. Labeling is a big thing. You don't want to, because they're not clear containers, you can't see if something's going bad quickly. So label your containers. I would even put what's in it so you can remind yourself. And then also think about the container. So if it's a butter container, it probably shouldn't be in the microwave, right? Because it's always in the refrigerator, I know. So that's something you need to think about if you're reusing those supermarket product containers. Hopefully I didn't break this. Oh, really quick, I forgot. I know we're talking about containers, but when it comes to snacks, my go-to thing are bags. So when it comes to bags, there's a lot out there. You can get, well, this is really big. This is a quart size. I don't do quart size for snacks. I do the snack bag. But the big debate is whether storage bag versus a freezer bag. And the big difference on both of those is that the freezer bag has a thicker plastic. So it can be fresher in the freezer a lot longer. So it's up to you what you want to get. Again, it's a lot thicker. You can't really see in the video, but it is a thicker plastic compared to the storage bag. But the good thing about these bags are disposable, so I like to use it for one time and that's it. A lot of people ask me to use them. Again, you don't, it's a leak-proof thing. If you're reusing it and washing it, and let's say you try, I would do this as your tester. If you reuse it and you put water and it leaks, throw it. You want to make sure it's leak-proof, airtight, just like your containers. If it's able to contain water without leaking, I say you can reuse it. Otherwise, throw the bag. But again, you do have to clean it every time you want to reuse the bag. But make the same thing with containers, leak-proof, airtight for reusing. But these are the snack bag containers. This other one is reusable. It's a very thick plastic. When it comes to reading this particular label, it's a little different. It's a little difficult. But it does give you the basics, that it's freezer safe, microwave safe, dishwasher safe, and then it gives you the icons in the back, what it is. And again, it has it on the bottom really small. So it's really good to start memorizing or learning those icons. So when you're coming to reusing your containers or even your bags, you know what these icons are. And then it also gives you the warning. So when it comes to microwaving, it gives you some safety precautions when microwaving this container. So everything has a warning. It's good to know those warnings. It's good to know the precautions, and it's good to know their limits. So really quick on the basics. No matter what the container, whether it's plastic or clear, make sure it's airtight, leak-proof. I'm a stickler for reading the label, so I'm going to add that. If it smells or stains, it's a sign to maybe replace or throw away. Durability, they all have a life limit. So make sure if something's cracked, something doesn't seal right, back to smell or stains, if it smells, it's time to replace. Plastics don't last as long as glass, just FYI. So you may have to replace your plastics a little more often. Glass containers can be put in the oven, but they all have safety precautions. Make sure to read those thermal warnings so you know, make sure they're not shattered in the oven. When it comes to storage bags, make sure to use the ones that you like. Freezer bags just a little bit thicker. For snacks on the go, I just like to get a bag and go. For more tips on all the procedures on how to pack a perfect salad in a jar, we have that on Dinner Tonight. To pack your soup to go, we have that on Dinner Tonight, especially the safety container contraptions. If you want to pack a safe lunch for school, we have food safety on back to school, so visit dinner tonight. And how to store leftover safety as well is on dinner tonight. This is a very basic of containers safety. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, you liked it. Visit dinner tonight for more resources. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful week.